Everybody, blessings to you.
Many blessings.
We want to welcome you today for our season finale episode of Let's Talk Empath. We will start up our season 2 when, Miss Lizzie?
Next year?
Starting in January. So you might miss us for the rest of October, November, December, but we shall return in January of the new year. I'm going to go ahead and do this card reading. I have with me an Oracle card deck, and I'll be using the Alana Fairchild White Light Oracle card deck. Enter the luminous heart of the sacred. Looks like this.
Beautiful.
Now, yes, this card deck right here, everybody, I got this card deck from what's called Moonbeams.
Hello, Lindsay.
This was from Moonbeams Crystal Store. Hi, Lindsay. Thank you for joining us today. The store is located in Crystal River. Once you give them your email address, they will update you on any new specials that they have, and they have over 20 card readers at their shop, and they have these get-togethers that they have there, which is really cool. You can get together with like-minded individuals, and even when they say that, I know that can be kind of nerve-wracking because again, everybody's different. So that can be a little nerve-wracking. Lizzie knows what I'm talking about. A lot of you might know what I'm talking about too, where if you do go to, some of these group meetings, which I have many times in my life, you still might find yourself the oddball out because but you just gotta just go and just never know. I look forward to going to one of their group meetings, and I hope to take Miss Lizzie with me. And when we do, I think it would be really cool if we film the experience, share it with you all, and we can invite that in one of the episodes for season 2. We'll find out.
Yes.
So, hold on, please. I hope everybody's ready for this card reading.
I know I am.
General card reading, okay, everybody? This is what the cover of the card deck looking. I got to start showing these to you more often, everybody. This is what the cover of the cards look like. A wolf.
Hi, Bernadette. Thank you for joining.
Hi, Bernadette. A beautiful, wise, white wolf. This is what the back of the covers look like. All right. What general card reading are we going to get? Everyone, thank you for tuning in. Miss Lindsay and Bernadette, thank you so much. Please do not forget to like, subscribe to this channel. Hit the bell for notifications anytime new content is emerged. And also share this video. Again, with like-minded people. Just go ahead and share. Okay. Ooh. Now, this is my first time using this card deck, and sometimes I say, use something that you're familiar with. Listen, I go with my spirit, and I'm very comfortable. So, if I'm comfortable, I'm comfortable. Let me slide over this. Forgive me. Oh, good Lord. And, this is what the booklet looks like. Looks just like the card box.
Mm-hmm.
It says, the doorway to the sacred is found within the heart. From the heart, we connect with, nourish, and develop our soul. Your soul is your unique inner being. It is the part of you which lives many lifetimes and grows spiritually through countless experiences. Your soul may have lived on worlds other than Earth, perhaps on various stars, and certainly in the spiritual worlds between lifetimes, yet it is meant to be here now, helping to bring light to our planet for the benefit of many in need. This is very, very beautiful.
It is very beautiful. I like the back as well.
Yeah, it is gorgeous. Here's the card. Aurora of Gamma. Am I reading that correctly, Liz?
I think so.
Here, let me just put it a little bit closer. Tell me when.
I think that's
Aurora
what it is.
Of Gamma.
Yeah.
Okay, so Aurora Gamma. It is time to let go of what has been. You are swiftly outgrowing your past. Explore and commit to a spiritual practice that supports your personal transformation so that you can cross the threshold before you now. Embrace your freedom to be creative in your approach rather than doggedly committing yourself to previous ideas or plans. You have the spiritual intelligence necessary to evolve. Continue your healing journey with trust, and a positive outcome is imminent. Aurora is the Roman goddess of the dawn, the bringer of light, and in theatrics, I hope I did not slaughter that, of a new cycle or chapter in your life. Okay. She is luminous. Hold, please. My stuff is slipping here. She is the luminous. She is the luminous dispeller of darkness, the flickering flame of hope in the heart that can burn into such a radiant, holy fire that even the greatest challenges do not cause the soul to turn away in fear. Her presence in a reading signifies a fresh start and the overcoming of an old cycle. Gamma waves are high frequency, typically 40 hertz in humans, but extending to higher levels with hypergamma, oscillating at around 100 hertz, associated with spiritual insight and clarity, pure vision, and breakthrough awareness. The gamma state is associated with high level processing that leads to integration and evolution. With the gamma frequency, we transform knowledge into wisdom through application. We tap into our ability to integrate information, and in doing so, are truly healed and transformed. As the world around us becomes increasing complex, the capacity for superior processing is swiftly becoming necessary for the spiritual, emotional, psychological, and even physical well-being of humanity. There is a strong link between spiritual practices, such as meditation, and the production of gamma waves. When we experience a heightened state of spiritual awareness, an expansive sense of being, or a powerful connection with the universe or spirit, our brain is in gamma mode. Shifting our gray matter gears into gamma waves can facilitate the breaking up of stagnant modes of thinking and behaving. This is the sacred frequency of evolution. Humans are stuck in patterns repeated, the same stories, the same words, the same thoughts over and over, as though on a repeated loop. The soul can begin to wither within such constriction. That is, what is needed is something new and increasingly alive, such as the life stimulating grace of encounters with the unfamiliar, trying new things. Connection to gamma waves can enhance our capacity to embrace the unfamiliar, and through that openness of being, constructive adaptation is enhanced. Our way of being becomes more fluid, responsive, and creative. We engage with our experiences and grow positively through how we respond to what is happening. Aurora of Gamma indicates a shift into a new cycle, but also the growing presence of the light within, which is the creative light of spirit. Tuning into that light opens up options for living soulfully, away from the grip of ignorance, no longer constantly ensnared by the compelling but ultimately fraudulent conjurations of ego. Her new era is an inner transformation with positive external consequences. Trust in what your inner light is manifesting in your heart and in the world. A good healing process for this card: settle into a comfortable position and constantly connect with your breath as it flows in and out. When you are ready, close your eyes and relax. Focus on your breath, allowing it to become deeper and slower. perhaps even with a slight pause after inhalation and a slight pause after exhalation. As you relax and inhale and exhale, the pauses may lengthen. Allow this to be natural and unforced. Your awareness can gently settle within the center of your brain. Let there be a soft, gentle light located right there, glowing, expanding, and bringing a sense of peace, oneness, openness, and relaxation into your brain. Rest here for as long as feels good. As your awareness gently settles within the center of your heart, let there be a soft light there, glowing, expanding, and bringing a sense of peace, openness, and relaxation into your heart. Rest here for as long as feels good.
I like.
Aurora.
Lindsay says that was a beautiful card.
Thank you. You'll notice that the oracle cards always come with a sort of way to meditate. Think about the meaning. Think about how you connect with it. And that was a general reading. And it's kind of interesting. I think you know what I'm talking about, Liz, because there is a lot of what I read that I said to you earlier. And this was even before I read it. I mean, besides the okay, because we have another show that's this week, and I hope y'all tune in. We love this platform, and we love all the platforms that we are involved in. But Liz, tell them about that other show that we got coming up. Mm-hmm.
So on Friday, starting this Friday actually, and every Friday at 11 p.m., watch Ladies After Dark. You never know what you're going to hear on the show, but us ladies have a lot to talk about, and we hope you stay tuned and get excited for what we have to share.
Highlight the word excited. But I think it's very interesting that I pulled that card because of what we were talking about, trying new things, ending the year with such a card and having the finale with that kind of card. The oracle card really signifies a new beginning.
Right.
It didn't have to, but it did.
Bernadette says, "Oh yeah, I can't wait for Ladies After Dark." You're going to love it, Bernadette. You never know what you're going to hear on that show. It truly is Ladies After Dark, and viewer discretion is advised.
Also, viewers' discretion is also advised here as well for today, because this is a very deep story that Miss Lizzie is about to share with us right now. Okay, I'm taking a deep breath because I know that this is okay. Here we go.
All right. When I was a child, I could see things other people couldn't. I always knew I was being watched. And at night, my mom couldn't figure out why I wouldn't stay in bed. I was always afraid of the dark. She would say there was nothing to worry about. But I knew differently. I knew they were coming. I could see them. They would come to haunt me. They would try to come and get me. Just when I thought dawn was approaching, they'd come back, and I'd run into my parents' bedroom, sleep between them, and I'd always have someone watching me. I couldn't wait till morning came. They were there, watching.
Wow. So, can you tell us a little bit more about how long did that last?
I could remember from 3 till about 5 years old before we moved out of the house. But my ghosts started, I thought originally they were just people that would come and visit me. And then I could never figure out where they went. And it was just some spirits that would come talk to me. Then they stopped coming, and then what I had come was look like the Grim Reaper. And the Grim Reaper stopped coming. And then came along a boy with a peg leg. And you'd hear his foot drag along the kitchen floor, and you'd have to step down into our bedroom. I shared a bedroom with my parents in my own bed. And you could hear the sliding of his peg leg on the floor and then the plop of his foot. And he'd peek around the side of the dresser, and then he would stand there and smile. Well, his smile would turn evil, and he'd charge at me, and he'd take off his peg leg, and he'd hit me with it. The only way I remained safe was to be able to get free of him and climb in between my parents' bedroom. I mean, climb in between my parents' bed, and he would sit there all night long, holding on to the rail, the foot of the bed, which were the bars, and he'd rub his face back and forth against the rails. So him and I had a standoff all night. He never would get on the bed, but we'd watch each other, and by the time the sun came up, he disappeared.
Wow. What and then the incident with the boy with the peg leg, did you ever explain that story to your mother?
I did.
Did anybody ever believe you, or they just thought that you just had this imagination?
No, my father believed me. My mom knew it because she saw a tall shadow figure. Apparently, when I was a baby, at the foot of the bed, she woke up, and since I was a baby, she like slithered out of the bed and left me in the bedroom. And come to find out after we moved from the house that a woman was murdered in the bathroom, and so was her dog. So not only did we have to deal with, I personally had to deal with the peg leg boy, but when we went to the bathroom, you had to get to the toilet, you had to pass the sink in the mirror, and
Mhm.
sometimes you'd have hands come out like this, like outstretched towards you as you passed. So we tried not to go to the bathroom at night because we didn't know if the woman would be reaching for us or not. And the tile was replaced in the bathroom, I can't tell you how many times, but where the woman bled, the tile wouldn't stay down. It wouldn't, the nails wouldn't even hold it down, glue wouldn't hold it down, staples wouldn't hold it down. Nothing held it down.
Ah, um, oh
As
Lord.
Lynn, as an
Mm.
adult, have I seen him again? No, I have not seen him again. Thank God. No, I just see other stuff now. So we moved from one location to the Peg Leg Boy to another location where we had what I called Musk Man, and there was the Flower Lady. The Flower Lady was peaceful, calming, loved her. Muskman, you had a sense of fear and dread when he would come, and you could tell that he was watching you. So every location I've been to or I've lived in has been, there's been spirits.
And then here's a question that I must ask. Do you notice that there's a lot of that spiritual activity in the state of Michigan?
Yes, it was
Don't
Native
you?
American territory. A lot of Native Americans were there. A lot of and settlers were there for a long time. So there are a lot of spirit settlers that first were there in Michigan, besides the Native Americans that were murdered.
Mm. Um, yeah, that's That's interesting, especially since I'm a witness to it, living in a fellow filmmaker's residence for at least the bulk of 3 months while we were filming. Myself and actually Miss Bernadette Prager, we were attacked, and there's times where they say that you can't be attacked or hurt. We definitely felt something hit the bottom of our bahookies.
I'll show
And yeah,
I'll show you the picture of the peg leg boy. If it'll
I don't
show
know,
up.
don't really know if it's going to show up.
There we
I didn't know if you really wanted to show that artwork, but that's okay.
yeah.
Okay. Because, showing artwork, we have to kind of say whose artwork it is.
Well, that's okay.
You're not going to.
No.
Okay. Okay.
Mhm.
So Lindsay says, "Oh, okay. So the place you're in now, what do you see?"
The place the place I'm in now, I've seen a couple children. I have seen um a man that goes to a few paces back and forth sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
Um I've had someone come in my room and go in like from the entrance of my doorway into the bathroom.
Mm-hmm.
Um and plus that being a paranormal investigator, it intrigues me, so I have conversations and I have devices where you can listen to them. Oh, hi Zaz. Um and what I got was the person here right now is a guy named John who apparently was killed in the near the front of the complex, and he was hit by a car. So he comes and goes. Oh, Zaz is Melissa Vaughn's son.
Oh, hello. How are you doing? Thank you for coming and joining us on the show today for Let's Talk Empath. We just did one card draw for everybody. It was a general reading using the White Light Oracle card deck that I just bought from Moonbeams. Shout out to Moonbeams. It's located in Crystal River, Florida. And today's forecast is 80 degrees Fahrenheit. It's sunny and it's a beautiful Sunday.
Yes. Yes.
So that's cool. I have another question. If anybody has any specific questions that they want to ask Miss Lizzie or myself, go ahead. We're open for any questions. This is our season finale, so we're kind of like freestyling here.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
yes.
Shout out to all my fellow empaths right here. I don't know how many of you use Epsom salt. I have not tried the foaming bath one. Dr. Teal's foaming bath with pure Epsom salt to relax and relieve. I have not tried this one, the foaming bath one yet, but I'm going to. I just love my bubble baths. They are amazing because I need to relax.
Right.
People who, if you're an empath, you get stressed out a lot, you get anxiety, and you need to relax. So baths are one of the ways that I relax. It's also being in water helps me receive better,
Mm-hmm.
just like an oracle. And this right here, you got to stay nice and soft. This is some grapefruit. Okay, and by the way, you can get this like pretty much everywhere. I don't really need to specify that one. Come on, it's Epsom salt. But this beautiful thing right here, it was the last one left. I had to get it. It was the last one.
Lindsay
I got
said,
this at
"No, I
Harper's
want
Freeze.
to take a bath." LOL.
Who said this?
Lindsay.
Oh, I got this grapefruit lotion. It from a little shop in Tarpon Springs, Florida, and it smells so freaking good. Now, this what's really good about it is that it says indulge in the good, eliminate the bad. Ooh, I like that. We us empath, we need that. It says vegan too. And it's made with a lot of it's gluten free, a lot of good stuff. And of course, I gotta be careful which ones I use because I know I'll break out and then I got some sensitive skin. But as
Mm,
an empath, have you always seen deceased people and dark entities?
I have. I have seen good ones. I've seen bad ones. I've seen some at a different apartment that I lived in. I'll try not to be too specific, but eh, um, trauma to the head. And I happened to turn around because I got chills up my neck, and he was sitting in a chair, and instead of his body moving, the chair was rocking sideways all the way over to me.
Mm,
Um, but he wanted to show me his wounds. And I had explained to him what had happened. It looked like had happened to him. Um, there was also a woman in the bathtub that did not like the shower curtain closed. So she's always taken a bath. And when you close it, and I went to go sit down, so I learned not to close it after this. When I closed the curtain, I sat down at my computer desk, I turned around, and she came at me with claws, like her fingernails turned into
mm.
claws. So after that, I was like, we'll just leave the shower curtain open. No, no,
I like to
yeah.
play with. Now, what would you? That was Would you classify that as a ghost, dark entity?
I would consider that a ghost.
Have you
Because,
seen angels too?
um, yes, when my father was dying, I did see angels.
So the angel of death.
I saw several angels that would come before and when he would sleep on the porch, because he kept his routine until he couldn't move anymore, and we had him in a hospital bed. There was always be a little girl and a little boy kneeling beside him praying, and he
Mm,
saw them. And I told my mom what I saw, but she didn't really. I didn't realize because I was at school. He had already told her about them, and then when I came in the house, I saw them, and I would tell her, but I hadn't known that he had told her who was beside him.
wow.
Yeah. And then shortly, I think a week before he died, it was almost like angels were going everywhere through our house. So that's the only time I've ever saw any angels.
When was the first encounter of a spirit or ghost? However you want to
I,
label.
I
When was the
I was
first
about
one?
I was about 3.
Well, you wouldn't be able to explain that to your mom, but I mean, like, when was the first time that you explained it to your parents?
Um, Probably 5, but my mom caught me when I was 3 because they were hearing me in the bedroom. I had a crib at the time before I got my child bed. Um, I was talking and laughing to somebody, and somebody responded back, and they became alarmed and went into the bedroom, and they saw this little short whatever it was, and it ran through the wall.
A little short,
So,
whatever it was, she says.
yep. So, mhm.
So we have a lot of wows and woes. Um, did you ever explain any of these things and your parents or somebody, maybe a teacher, anybody say that? oh, we think that she needs um, psychological help.
I never told any teachers. I always kept it to myself. When we moved out of that first house I told you about into the second one with Mussman and Ghost Lady, we were there until I was about 21, and then I moved to Florida. Um, and I would talk to my dad about everything that I had seen. And in fact, I remember the day we moved into the house, all the doors upstairs and downstairs were slamming open and shut, and it sounded like someone was banging on the pipes. And my
Hmm.
dad started from the basement and he went all the way up. Whatever he said, everything stopped. But we also had something that would shapeshift into one of us when we were in the bathroom. So it looked like one of us was passing past the bathroom into a bedroom,
Oh,
and it was nobody. There was nobody. And then we found out there was a what our house was built on, and a lot of the houses where we had lived up the street, we used to be a landfill. So somebody apparently had died, and we would see that person walking past our dining room window. They'd always go back and forth, and my dad said it used to be a landfill, so someone is probably out there somewhere on our property.
oh,
Lindsay says, "Has any spirits used your body?" I did have that once happen. Yes.
was it allowed? Like, did you consent?
No, they just jumped me. Um, and it wasn't to hurt me. I guess they wanted a moment to see again through a person's body. And then as soon as I said leave, they left. It wasn't like they tried to take over and I wasn't wrestling. It was they left.
Yeah, I only have one experience like that too, where it well, not one experience where something was trying to possess me and wanted to hurt me and wanted to convince me to hurt people I care about, but I fought them off. I'm a tough cookie. But one experience where I consented to it because I was, you know, it's other than that, I can only go so deep into this because it's confidential. It was for a friend, and so that she can communicate with her mother again.
Mm,
And literally, her mother was speaking to her through me. Um, Now, I can't remember if it was Bernadette or Lindsay. I think it was Lindsay that was there that night, as a witness. Um, and it was crazy because when I was little, the dark entities that wanted to possess me, they were not ghosts. They were, in this case, they weren't ghosts. They were dark entities, and I had to fight off demons trying to possess me. And I literally would shake in my bed, and it only started to occur after being sexually molested by my babysitter. Before I was sexually molested by my babysitter, things seemed a lot brighter. I saw more of the light things, than anything. Things got invited, and I learned what that was and what the reason was, because when a person gets involved, like when they experience trauma in their life, because in my case, I experienced that trauma in my life at an early age. That's when I was most vulnerable, and all these dark things just started showing themselves to me. I hated every minute of it. It didn't make me love the house that I was raised in any less. I loved the house because it had nothing to do with the house.
mhm.
Um I I was, however, always afraid of going into the attic. But attics can be kind of scary in general. But in this
Or
case, I did love the way it was laid out, but I was scared because dark things kept coming out from the attic. And the crazy thing is I wasn't the only one that could hear it. There was myself, my mother, my dad was like, "What the heck is that?" Like literally it would be heard by all of us. My sister, my older brother, like everybody would hear what I was hearing. So I wasn't alone. And that also, besides like what they show like in Hollywood films is would be rare. And sometimes you have stories where everybody can hear it, and then you have stories where only one person can hear it.
mm.
Well, there were many times where we all heard it and we were like, "What's that?" When we finally got our cats, we started to hear less and less of these spirits. We were finally able to get some good night's rest. Cats are the guardians of the underworld. Um, Dogs, they will alert you and tell you what's there, but unlike a cat, they cannot make it go away.
So Lindsay says, I was there. That was amazing. And then she said the doorbell.
Oh, there was the incident at that was the other house actually, Lindsay. That was the incident at the house in Pine Ridge, Beverly Hills in Florida, where I'm not gonna give away the address. I'm sorry, everybody. I'm not gonna do that. Um, you would hear sometimes everybody would hear the doorbell, and then sometimes only one person would hear it, and sometimes two people would hear it, and it was specifically coming from my bedroom. It did not ever come from anybody else's bedroom. It didn't come from the kitchen. It didn't come from the front door. It literally came from my bedroom. The doorbell would ring, and my mother says, "Somebody's letting us know that they're here." And we just carried on like it was casual. Um, we and even when it happens, we're like, did that really happen? Like, and it doesn't matter even if my dad heard it. When my dad heard it, we're like, did that really happen? And it never gets old for us. It never gets old for us when we notice something move or we hear a doorbell ring or whatever the case is. Now in this house we don't have no doorbell ringing, but specifically in that house and the people that you were there, they didn't stay there very long, and they ended up leaving. The guy who had my room was an artist just like myself. Um, and but I digress. I mean, we want to share with y'all as many stories as we can about the experiences that we had growing up. Um, it's they never leave us, no matter how much time has passed. And I'll never forget the last time I saw an angel, full, tall, grown angel, like physical, just like you can touch her, just like this thing right here. I was 6 years old, and she told me I had to go on by myself because prior to that, I mostly saw a lot of the angels and I saw a lot of things. And it started to become less and less because I prayed it away, I guess you can say. I needed a break. My mother says, I asked my mom, I said, "Mom, can I do that?" And she says, "Yeah, if you don't want the gift anymore, you can pray it away." I put that to the test and it did work. But it doesn't mean that you're completely desensitized. So then you become in a position where you feel things, but now you don't know where it's coming from. You don't know why. So now you become sort of ignorant to the things around you. What the hell did that, and so I had to allow myself later as a teenager to invite it back in to be able to have that vision again, to be able to see. And so when I had to work at it, I had to work at it, and eventually it started to come back. And because things got too dark in my life, both in the physical and the spiritual. Everything was too quiet. I'll tell you
Mhm.
one thing, when things are too quiet, I think I'd rather see than not see.
Mhm.
Regardless how scary it can be, I'd rather see than not see, because then I don't know what it is.
Mhm.
I won't know what it is, where these sicknesses would be coming from, because what they do is, dark entities will thrive on your ignorance. They will thrive on your weaknesses. They will try to hurt you, haunt you, and sometimes it's not because of you. Sometimes it's because you can have a friend who's very ignorant, and they start inviting things into your home that you don't want. And next thing you know, you have to clean up after it, and you're stuck with it. But as
Yes.
long as everybody else is happy, there's nothing wrong with wanting some peace and quiet and wanting to get some decent sleep. I'm like, why y'all gotta bother me at night? I know why. It's a rhetorical question. It's a rhetorical question. But why? I want sleep. I want to rest.
Yeah, Lindsay asks, Lizzie, would you go to a cemetery to do an investigation? I have actually. I've done that. I went with somebody prior, and I was drawn to the right, and for some reason, and I sat on a bench. Sage all day, Lindsay says. I was drawn to like a seat where a person was buried, but you know how sometimes they have benches instead of like headstones or whatever. So I sat down and I was talking into the recorder. Is there anybody here? Does anybody have something to say? And when I played it back, I heard, "Shh, we're sleeping." And I was like, "Sorry, I didn't mean to bother you. Thank you." And I walked away. Yes.
Hmm.
So I've done investigations in the cemetery.
I'll tell you, for anybody who doesn't know, yes, cats are the guardians of the underworld. When we had Fuzzball and Gentle, and we had Suling, and Suling stood like, we had to give up Fuzzball and Gentle because, well, Gentle got kind of fat, and she ate all of their food. She was very selfish, and then Fuzzball was such a it's we needed to just like give them to another family. It was sad. It was bittersweet, but we gave them up, and the only one that we kept was Suling, because Suling was kind of getting bullied by Buzzball. Well, Suling stood with us all the way to the age of 24 years of age.
Wow.
She could have made it to 25, but because Tigra had to go run out, Tigra was another cat that we had. She ran out and brought back fleas in the state of Florida, because we mostly lived in New Jersey, because that's where I'm from, is New Jersey. And um the cats were not used to fleas. We never had a flea issue till, we were introduced to how bad fleas are in the state of Florida, and like how bad they can get. All I have to say, ladies and gentlemen, why do we need rugs in the state of Florida? If you live in a place that gets hot, we don't need rugs. Why do we have rugs? And don't tell me because it's cheaper. That's not an excuse. Don't tell me it's cheap. Da, 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 da. I'll fight you. I'll fight you all day. Let's go. It is not necessary to have no freaking rugs. We do not need rugs. Just give me a floor.
I want a hardwood floor. I don't like carpet. It's Florida. I don't want carpet at
I
all.
don't want carpet. I don't want
Mm-mm.
a rug. Unless you're coming out of the shower and you gotta step on something soft. That's not what I'm talking about. You can still have that. I'm just talking about, like, can we not? Can we just do with? I can so do without a rug all over the freaking house. I
Mm-hmm.
can't. I cannot deal with. And then the cheap floors. Let's not go with there with the cheap floors. You know when they put the cheap floors down, and it's so hard to clean them. Listen, when you are a sensitive individual and you're an empath, we need a clean house. We get
Right.
sick. Those negative entities will hide in dirt. They will hide in the corners of the wall.
Lindsay says wood floor.
Yes, wood floor. I like cherry wood. Leave me alone. Don't judge me. Be nice. You
And
may not like
and
cherry wood.
wood holds a lot of energy as well. It's almost dependent on how you touch it. You can also, at least for me, when people have like wood walls, I can run my hands across it really slowly and I can pick up images from it because it retains memories of stuff.
Cherry, yes, because it's a natural element.
Yes.
Also, that being said, wood floors, especially if it's cherry wood with the the shine, the
Yes.
nice shine. Wood in general is one of my elements. If and that's again, that's what makes every empath so different. There are some elements, like your element could be metal, so that could be one of your strongest elements. So you'd have to um, discover what elements. And usually, if you look it up, like people could usually look up what their elements are. Sometimes their element is metal. Sometimes it's wood. Mine's is wood. Some people might have iron. Some people might have water, which is why they get a water bed or they got a huge tub in their bathroom or bedroom, or they gotta have like fish on the floor, like they walk on the floor and you can see fish or
Mhm.
something like that. So you'll notice, like, it's you could feel what your element is. I've always known that my element is wood because of how my spirit and my energy reacts around trees.
Mhm.
God, that doesn't sound right. I'm sorry. Oh,
It's all
or
right.
grass or sand, or so, like, I mean, you can
Eh,
tell some people. You ever meet people who they could not stay away from the ant farms?
yeah.
They probably do not realize that sand is one of their elements.
Well, Lindsay says when you were talking about the floor, if it's got sage embedded in it, and then she said, "Will gold work?"
Cherry wood floors are just fine, Miss Lindsay. It just depends. Everybody's different. This again, tell them, Lizzie. Every empath is different, and
Yep.
why?
Because there's 11 different types of empaths, so each of us have different abilities, different strengths, and some of us have different weaknesses.
Hmm.
So
Yes.
while hers is wood, mine is stone, actually.
Stone. I love stones. I love the stone walls, Lizzie.
Like
I love
granite.
you.
That's why if you notice when you've come to my house that where my microwave sits on top, the top of
Yeah.
that shelf is stone.
Oh, that's right. Oh, I love the marble
The,
on top of
yes.
the
Mhm.
kitchen when you
Yeah.
have in the kitchen. I
Yeah.
love that stuff all day,
Yep.
every day. I think what I really love about this platform the most also is the details that we can give.
Mhm.
And again, everybody, it's hard to talk about these things and share it, but we're doing it with bravery and courage.
Right.
And Lindsay put LOL towards the previous comment that you were saying. She says, "No, I'm having mine made special." Of course you are, Lindsay. Of course you are. We know you. We know you.
Mhm.
So, do you find that you've seen so much dark entities or more ghosts and not as much angels and stuff?
I see. Okay. I see spirits that pretend to be things that they're not, but it's just to get people away from their territory. You know, they if they're stuck in a location, they don't want to be stuck in the same room with you. So of course they're going to scare you and pretend to be something they're not. Or if they scare you and the first thing you think of is, "Oh my gosh, it's demonic. It's blah blah blah." I'm sure they've heard that a lot. So if they're nasty because they've heard it so much, they're going to take out their aggression. Just like if someone called a living person, you're a blah 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 blah. Um, you'd eventually get tired of hearing it, and you would say something. Same with the spirit; they just don't have a body.
Right. So,
So I can tell the difference between something that's inhuman to somebody that's pretending to be that way. So I try to treat those that don't have a body, that are human, with as much respect as possible.
um, yeah. So, like, okay, and I'm thinking about questions that people would probably want to ask us.
Yes.
They probably so the questions are very deep and probably vague or whatever. Forgive me, but it's stuff that I'm picking up on. Would they? Would you say that there are some empaths that they're meant to pick up on more of the dark entities than the angels? There's some empaths that pick up more
So
of the angels than others, and
yes,
maybe I think so too.
yes,
I think so. I think there's a reason for that. I think there's a reason because obviously we both know that if they are given that gift and that ability to see more of the dark entities or the scary ghosts and whatever, that's because they can handle it. And maybe the other empaths probably they're meant to pick up on whatever they can handle.
right,
Kind of like, God won't give you what you can't handle type thing,
exactly.
And I believe that. I really do believe that wholeheartedly. Um, I do believe that because of and you know what sucks is that saying that at a young age as a little girl that I was able to see, oh, this is where some people would just laugh, but it's okay because you can go to Ireland and in your face, all in your face. I was able to see fairies, I was able to see angels, I was able to see ghosts. I just specifically just always call them spirits that, because you can call them ghosts or spirits, it's still the same thing. But because the in this case, I've seen people when I was in kinder care, you know, I would say she must have been a teenager if I'm looking back at it correctly, walking around the premises in pajama, nightgown wear, white. Must be a very classic. But see, where I lived in New Jersey, it's specifically in Burlington, Mount Holly, that was the style of the people that lived there. There was like very Victorian, um, very 1912 decade,
Hmm. Hmm.
that fashion, like if you're just coming straight out of a Titanic. I even went to a school that used to be an all girls boarding school. But when I went there, it was unisex, everybody, the boys and girls attended. And it used to be called St. Mary's Hall. And it's the school that is located by the Burlington Bristol Bridge. So you can look that up. It's actually a place I want to take my daughter to and my friends. And I really would love you to come, Lizzie. I want you to come. But anybody who can't come, I will film it and I will document that sucker and I will share it with you. That school, oh my God, because of its history and everybody in the school knew. Oh, it's haunted. It really was, though. Like it was because of all of the things that took place, the energy, and the moment you even walk in, it's thick. The energy is thick, girl. Um, you don't even have to walk in to St. Mary's to see a spirit. It's
Mhm.
like that. Like when I tell you, I kid you not, it is like that. You don't even have to walk in. And the people who are not even that sensitive will feel like a brush of, like, they'll get pushed. You will get pushed as a pencil will move.
Mhm.
I remember when I made a pencil move. When I was little, I used to be, I was probably more gifted when I was a little kid, just brand new to the world. And as I started to grow up, I'm talking about pencils moving. I'm talking about, I had it like that. Talking
You
about
had
pencils.
telekinesis?
Yes, because my friends would always make me move things. I had nothing but, like, and they took it, we treated it like magic tricks. I said, "Oh, well, but then after a while, there was some people that were trying to call me out and say, "I think you need to stop doing that because that's like witchcraft. It's really bad. I don't think you should do that anymore." And I'm like, "But it's natural. I can't, it was natural." And then I said, "So then magic tricks are," because I even thought, I'm like, okay, I wanted to join the circus. At first I wanted to be a nun, but that kind of came later. I thought I was going to join the circus at a very young age. I was like, wow, I could do this. I can join the circus. I could be this cute clown, with, like, and she dances and sings and does ballet, because I used to do ballet, tap and jazz. And I could do ballet on the rope. And you can
I
probably
wanted to
catch.
do that.
Yeah, is that right, Lizzie? Is that right? Oh,
I did, I wanted to go to a circus, yep. I thought
but
I'd be accepted there.
did you ever have anybody tell you you need to stop doing that because, oh, it's bad, it's this, and I'm like, you're gonna tell
Yeah,
somebody that naturally can see a spirit and a ghost that something's
I
wrong with
I
them?
have not only my family members, but, uh, another person's family members, tell me that, um, if I talked about spirits or saw spirits, or when I had at one point gotten married, my dad showed up in an image of it, and my mom is the one that pointed out. She's like, "Who is that man?" And then we looked closer, and it was my dad, but my dad had already died. He died in 98.
Mm,
So, and then I was told, "Oh no, that's a demon. Anytime you see anything, that's a demon." No, because the Bible talks about spirits. And
right,
again, if you believe in the Holy Spirit, you don't see it, but you believe in
right,
it. So, you know, that's how I go with that.
and that's where the cookie crumbles. Ladies and gentlemen, no, it's not over yet. This is a special. This is our season finale. We are going to get ready to end pretty soon, but we're going to cut to a commercial break. Please stay tuned for the commercial so that you can see what's going on and recap on the stuff that we have previously spoken of. So some of our commercials show that. So check those out.
Yes. See you soon. Welcome back. Welcome back. Thank you for
How's
staying
everyone
tuned.
doing? Yay!
Did you freeze, Leeonessa?
No, I was
Oh.
just giving you a chance to say what you wanted to say. That's
Oh.
all. Because, yeah, no, I mean, just because, I want everybody to know, like, if we tend to talk at the same time, it's okay. Don't stop talking. Keep going.
Okay. Well, all I can say is I am so glad we were able to do this is our first season of Let's Talk Empath. I want to reiterate that. It's been wonderful working with Leeonessa. And
Working with you too, Lizzie. Thank you
we
so much.
we'll be back for season 2 in January of Let's Talk Empath.
2023, everybody, get ready.
And keep in mind, Fridays. What's going to happen on Fridays, Leonessa?
Ladies After Dark.
Yes. It's going to be a very fun show.
Mm-hmm.
I still can't wait to work with Leonessa again. This is going to be very special.
Could be quite different. Quite different.
Yeah, that's what we'll call it. Quite different.
Quite different. And that's okay. In every way, shape, or form.
Right. So, I'm going to do a card reading if you don't mind. We'll do
please.
that.
We need our final card reading, everybody. Our general card reading.
Well, this jumped out. It's the Ace of Wands. Is it where is it?
Probably a little bit closer to the nose. Wait, a little bit closer to your nose. A little angled, a little bit down or left or whatever. Play with it. Might as well get used to playing with something because this week, Friday night, we're gonna be playing. All right, here we go. Not what you think. Calm down.
It's not working. Well, listen, it's a hand coming out of a cloud holding a stick upside down. Okay, that's your Ace of Wands.
She's gonna be getting that green screen soon, everybody. It'll really clear up things, okay?
Yeah. So we got in the meantime. Yeah, that's what it is. Hand coming out of a cloud, sticks upside down, leaves falling off it. Okay. Ace of Wands, people. You have feelings of exhaustion. You have low energy, lethargy, mental dullness. You are over-involved and you need to choose between too many commitments. You have a loss of enthusiasm and interest in the very things that have always made you happy. Material success doesn't make you happy. So, my interpretation to this is you need to find something that interests you and don't overwhelm yourself with every little thing. If someone says, "Can you do this? Can you do that?" and you have 5 other people asking you and you're saying, "Yes, yes, 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 yes," you're becoming too overwhelmed. Pick one. And that should help. Yes, pick
I
one
like
thing.
that. I mean, I felt like that was clear. Can you give us any more insight to that card? Maybe something that you picked up.
Well, that I just had a card fall.
Ooh.
Yeah, a card.
Maybe you gotta read it, girl. If you gotta read it, you go right ahead and you read that card.
Okay, it's the 6 of Swords. It's reversed. There's a man on a boat or with a child next to them, swords in front of them, and someone is, moving the boat. You are able to rise in the occasion when necessary. You thrive under adversity. Trouble is invigorating and you are bored if life is too easy. Challenges are really just opportunities, quick responses, and fast thinking. Action is needed. Your instincts are good.
Ooh.
So maybe what I'm going to get out of this is, even though you have all these challenges ahead of you, don't take on too much. Even though you enjoy the rush, the enthusiasm of it all, do one thing at a time. And then
Pace.
once you finish that, move on to the next.
Yeah, pace yourself, everybody. Don't do too much that you can't handle. Just pace yourself. Okay. We love you all. And we thank you for every single person who has been tuning into the show faithfully every Sunday.
Yes.
We hope that you also tune in next year. There will always be plenty to share. As empaths have a lot to share and talk about, and we also know how to stay at the same time very private. So,
and periodically I will do tarot readings for Let's Talk Empath until season 2 starts.
yes, and periodically I'll join in and drop a card reading myself on that thing. I gotta help a girl out. We created this thing together as a team.
Yes.
And that's hard to find, especially when
we love you too, Lindsay.
We love you, Lindsay.
We love you, Bernadette.
Love you, Bernadette. Love you, everybody. Blessings to you.
Many blessings. Bye.